Hello and welcome to our coverage of the WNBA on 2K Sports. And on tap tonight, it's the Indiana Fever going up against the New York Liberty. And coming to you from the borough of Brooklyn, I'm Blake Suniga. Pleased to have you here along with my broadcast partners, Brian Banafitemi and Tim Swartz. As a fan, if you've got the need for speed, you're in for a treat tonight.
Oh, I always have the need for speed. I mean, across the league, every year, the pace seems to increase. And these teams, they really push it.
Then again, who knows? A couple key half-court sets could really determine the outcome here.
Howard, that's good. Here's Thomas. Off to a good start as she hits her first shot attempt.
Keeping things simple. When Thomas sees the mid-range shot open up, she doesn't hesitate in taking it.
Outside Hayes. Down low. Pass to Harrison. Just 5 to shoot. Outside Hayes. And here's Ryan Howard from the arc. Aguilar grabs the miss. And here's Indiana. Here's Melbourne. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. To the inside, Magdagor, and it's good for 2.
I like how Magdagor picks her spots on offense, knows when to look to score inside.
And here is Alemán. Outside Stevens. Howard. Pass to Hayes. Right side Howard. Ryan Howard with another miss.
That's a shot she's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Magdagor with the ball. Inside, Howard with the steal. Here's Hayes. That's in, coming off an assist from Ryan Howard.
A big-time battle inside. Tiffany Hayes winning that one.
And 2023 featured the closest MVP vote ever, with Alyssa Thomas finishing second.
Yeah, it was interesting. And Thomas actually got the most first-place votes, but finished just behind Brianna Stewart, just ahead of Asia Wilson. Thomas averaging 16, 10, and 8. All defense, too. About as good of an all-around year as we've seen.
Alemán, good.
A playmaker in the backcourt. Hayes moving it to the open teammate.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first quarter. Pass to Magdagor. Sykes. She's guarded by Hayes. Great D that time from Tiffany Hayes. New York in the lead. Feet out, and she tries off the glass, but it's no good. It's Brittany Sykes on the wing. She's guarded by Hayes. Sykes, no good.
Yeah, remember that. I mean, that's not an opportunity. She fails to convert very often.
To the paint. Stevens, that's good.
That's a great example of Stevens' comfortability and focus around the basket. So effective down there.
Now here is Sykes. No scoring yet from her, but that's likely to change. Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Alemán. Just 4 to shoot. Pass to Magdagor. They can't stop the run with that one. On offense, here the Liberty. To the middle. Alemán, good.
Most of the time, Howard is looking to score. But right there, she smartly gives it away to someone with a better shot.
They really want to find that igniter here.
That's right. Their offense is ground to a standstill.
Maybe you need to suit up, Tim. They need a spark.
She can be forgotten in their offense sometimes. But the D, you got to keep an eye on her still.
Here's Alema. 5 points in the game. Here's Stevens. The Fever pull it in. Sykes outside. Great D that time from Tiffany Hayes. Pass to Stevens. Now Howard. Stevens the screen. The tray. Alyssa Thomas with the rebound.
Even without that 3-ball dropping for her, the defense should have done way more on that last play.
Yeah, I mean, the D's got to be better as a coach. You can't stand seeing her having that much space to get her shot off.
Now here is Sykes. She hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And a miss there on the triple.
Just not the quarter she would like to have when you talk about shooting the ball, but hopefully she can turn it around.
Pass to Harrison. Shoots over Thomas. New York, no good that time either. Indiana trailing. Sykes outside. Over to the left wing. Stolen by Tiffany Hayes. Howard up top. Pass to Stevens. Back to Howard. Clock at 6. Fires for 3. Rebounded by Phoebish.
It's been a bit of a struggle for her this quarter in terms of scoring the ball.
Here's Thomas. Outside for Sykes. Phoebish. Pass to Thomas. Over Howard. She clings that one off the back iron and it falls.
On offense, Thomas is a threat. She knows how to get herself a shot.
Aleman with it. Back to Hayes. And here's Howard. Yes, and a nice assist from Tiffany Hayes.
Wow, Howard with the quick release.
So it's Indiana now, trailing by 5. Pass to McVigor. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Here's Alema. She's got 5. Howard with the ball. From the arc, sinks the three-pointer.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Pass to McVigor. Now here is Sykes. Six on the shot clock. Goes up, high post. Rebound, New York.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Yeah, good omen.
Now Stevens. Let's go with a 3. And again, it's New York with a 3.
Triples keep on falling, guys. 3 in a row now.
These defenders can't stay so soft on the perimeter.
Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Aleman. Sykes up top. Pass to Thomas. Nice move. Stolen by Tiffany Hayes. Left side, Stevens. Fires from deep. Aguilar grabs the miss. And it's the Fever ball. 9-point game. Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Aleman. Back to Thomas. Pass to Phoebish. Three-pointer. Got a piece of it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Fever will retain possession.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Segrist. It's deflected. To the inside. Here's Andalassini. Terrific assist and a nice finish. Just a solid play all around.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Such a pretty pass.
I don't have an exact number for you, but I can tell you we've seen it a lot. Okay, let's just say that. Strictly using assists as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
Now here's Segrist. Shoots a fader. She's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. Now Martin. Over Sykes. She got it up in time, but it couldn't fall for her. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Liberty. They're up by 9. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second. Well, not exactly a neck-and-neck game, but as the second quarter starts, there is plenty of time for a comeback. And taking a look at the Liberty performance here, guys, what are your thoughts?
A lot of tough D by them so far. It's been a difference maker.
Nothing has gone up uncontested for the most part, and look, that's why they've had success.
Lets the three fly. Good on the three-point shot.
Well, beyond the arc, Sykes can be pretty choosy, but she finds an angle she likes and drills it.
And talking about Brittany Sykes, she's known for her defense.
Well, when those GM surveys come out every year, Sykes is normally the pick for best wing defender. She's an old school type of guard, doesn't take a lot of threes, hangs her hat on disrupting opponents.
Well, Megan Gustafson was the original star from Iowa, scoring 28 points per game as a senior.
Yeah, she didn't get, the hype of the latest Iowa star, Caitlin Clark. Megan, though, was a National Player of the Year herself, and the lefty has been a quality WNBA player.
And the first one at the line is good. You know, with the length of the WNBA season, it can really fly by in a hurry.
Just when you think you're starting to get settled in, we've already played a decent chunk of the year.
And that makes each game count that much more. There's very little room for error during the regular season.
And that's good as she hits both shots. And it's the Fever ball. Trailing here by 8. Pass to Hillman. Back to Segrist. It's Brittany Sykes on the wing. Shot clock at 6. Now Hillman for 3. It's hauled in by Tiffany Hayes. Now Martin, covered by Segrist. Pass to Martin. Here's the 3. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
I mean, that shot just becomes effortless for her when the defense is so relaxed like that.
Now a timeout called by Indiana.
Yeah, the coach is seeing a lot of their shots miss the mark and figured it'd be a good time to draw something up, maybe get an easy look.
Yeah, all my coaches always had one go-to play that you just keep in your back pocket, and that's probably the one that the coach is drawing up here, trying to get their team an easy bucket out of this play.
Here's Hillman. Looking for a first basket still in this one. Pass to Westbrook. Sykes outside. Six to shoot. Here's Westbrook. Tries a 3. The shot off that time. Outside Hayes. From downtown, that one falls. Her second basket of the game. She is now 2 for 3.
Getting great lift on her shot. Hayes can really drain him from 3.
Segrist outside. They need this. Out to the left wing. Puts it up from 17. Gustafson with the rebound. And the Liberty with possession here. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Hayes passes on Delacini. Gustafson with it. From the high post. And she gets that one to go off the front iron.
They are putting the hammer down. Just a huge lead for them.
And it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense, because it has all been working for them.
Yeah, to build this lead, you have to do both.
Here's Westbrook. She's guarded by Hayes. Pass to Segrist. That's basket number 2 with her third shot. Off to a fast 2 for 3.
The second she got around the pick and shook her man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very well done.
Now the Fever moving it up. Here's Westbrook. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brittany Sykes.
This is just unselfish basketball at its finest. You just know that Sykes' teammates appreciate her willingness to share the wealth.
New York calls timeout. And just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Pass is on Delacini. Howard. And here's Martin. Just 5 on the clock. Howard with the ball. The 3. A rebound by Segrist.
They got lucky. They got lucky. And the defense is taking a big chance, leaving her open behind the arc. And I'm not sure I'm okay with that game plan.
Trying her luck from deep. Olsen misses. Here's New York now. At one point, they led by 16. Passes on Delacini. Now Howard. There's the triple. Hits the three-point bomb.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the three-pointers they're allowing.
I don't know. I mean, there might be more defense in warm-ups. They need to close down on these threes.
Now here's Thomas. Here's Febish. Quiet so far offensively, searching for first points of the game. Delacini pulls it in.
Yeah, she's not necessarily a strong interior presence, but she's got to finish those chances when she has them.
And here's Indiana. 15-point game. Febish. Delacini pulls it in. And here's Martin. To Howard. Shoots. And the rebound goes to the Fever.
She has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it really hasn't affected the team that much.
Now Colson. From beyond the arc, and she's good on the 3-ball.
They can't afford to give her that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you have to fight over the top of it.
And you need some help as well.
Now Delacini. Pass to Howard. Lets it fly. For the basket, her 5th of the game, and she's missed 6 shots against those 5 mates.
Things are really clicking for Howard on the offensive end, and her team should keep feeding her when she's on a roll like this.
And there's a pick. Here's Westbrook, guarded by Howard. Out to the wing. Here's Segrist. Delacini pulls it in.
The defense can't make a habit of giving her that shot. She just doesn't miss many of them.
Inside. Gustafson. Good on the shot.
He's coming to life after a slow start in the first quarter.
She's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. Both teams will make substitutions.
Shooting one.
She didn't have a single free throw in the first quarter, but she started to play with a little bit more edge to her game here in the second.
Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Alaman. Pass to Magdagor. Sykes up top. Here's Thomas. Sykes outside. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Fever will retain possession.
That pass had a little bit too much heat on it for her to make a clean steal.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough catch for either of them. I mean, these are basketball players, not wide receivers.
I think that was temporary insanity. I don't know.
Do you think she realizes that there's a game going on right now? Because I'm not so sure.
Stevens. Magdagor grabs the miss. They have a very long way to go to get within sight of the lead.
And Blake, from what we've seen so far, if I were you, for your health, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, that'd be a very bad idea. Down low. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Sykes. Over Hayes. And there's the call on Alyssa Thomas. That's her first foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Here's Howard. A 17-point lead, and it's their biggest. There's the 3. A rebound by Melbourne.
Two minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Pass to Phoebish. And here is Sykes. Clock at 6. Thomas. And the shot goes down.
The paint is Thomas's domain. She's great at finding those point-blank looks.
You know, I just can't get over the fact that Alyssa Thomas has been playing with 2 torn labrums for years now. I mean, talk about toughness.
Yeah, hence her one-handed shooting style. But she's an absolute warrior. She's not only playing through pain, she's doing it at an elite level. And even against stiff interior defense, Howard stays committed. She never even thought about giving up on the play.
Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Alaman. Screen by Magdagor. Brittany Sykes outside. Stevens grabs the board.
I'm sorry to say it, guys, but she's given them little to nothing at the offensive end.
Howard up top. Shoots. No good off front iron.
Well, sometimes they're going to miss even the easiest of chances.
And down it goes. 2 points.
Tough finish by Thomas, wanting it more.
Outside Hayes. Shot from 12. Misses her second shot and 4 attempts from the field. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Thomas outside. To the paint. And she banks in the layup.
Sharp pass to set up the very high percentage shot in close.
From deep three-point range. And the first half now in the books. Liberty out in front. They lead by 13. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out there for the start of the third quarter after the break. Welcome back to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the final 2 quarters. You know, Howard has just been exceptional here, fellas.
And I wonder how long she can continue to shoot the 3 ball as well as she has up to this point. She's been quite simply lights out.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something we both know, that sometimes you have those nights where the bucket looks as wide as the Grand Canyon, and it really might be one of those nights for her.
And welcome back as we begin the second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, but anything can happen. Thomas outside. That shot off. Azare Stevens with some nice D. Now here's Howard. There's a screen by Stevens. Howard inside, lays it in without an inch of room around her.
Well, the defense is right there to try and stop Howard, but she keeps her composure and puts it up and in.
Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Alaman. Thomas a screen. Here's Melbourne. She's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. With the shot. Sykes, no good. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. And here's Ryan Howard from the arc. The Fever pull it in.
Just like me, 9 times out of 10, she's going to bury the 3 when she's left all alone like that.
So the whistle blows on the shot. 2 free throws for the contact there.
Second personal foul.
It goes on Alyssa Thomas.
Gotta love the aggressiveness. Howard is superb at getting fouled on the way up.
And first trip to the free throw line for her in this one.
2 shots.
And she makes the first. That one falls, so she hits both of them.
You know, Ryan Howard has got a good sense for finding her shots, and she is always ready to attack, which means the defense essentially has to watch her at all times.
Pass to Melbourne. Sykes with the ball. Now Thomas. This one for 3. That missed basket takes her to 4 for 8 from the floor.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass.
It certainly wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap.
And here's Ryan Howard from the arc. Nailed from three-point land.
Well, when Howard is knocking down threes, Ryan is unguardable.
Timeout called the Fever. While Ryan Howard has her fingerprints all over this one.
She's absolutely dialed in from outside. They got to play up on her and try to deny her the ball.
Sykes outside. Pass to McBagor. Thomas a screen. Back to McBagor. Will it go? No good at the rim.
5 shots without a make. A ragged start coming out of halftime.
Hayes with it. Outside Howard for 3. No good. Indiana with the ball. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. Thomas outside. Febish. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Howard. Pass to Alama. Hayes. Knocks down the 3-ball.
The defense really slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Bottom line is this. Those triples, they sure add up, don't they? They've got to make the adjustment.
Here's Melbourne. She's guarded by Alaman. Thomas, right side. 5 on the clock. Sykes outside. The 3-ball. Cans it from downtown.
Puts her awareness on full display. Sykes knew exactly how much time she had for the catch and shoot.
Howard with the ball. 22 points for her. Up top, Alaman. She's covered by Thomas. No one covering.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show she's putting on this quarter.
And here's Thomas. 8 points for her. Goes up and lays it in nice and easy.
Her shooting has been so good today. She may have to take it upon herself to get her team out of this hole.
Here's Hayes. Melissa Thomas with the rebound. And here's Indiana. The rebound by the Liberty. Now Alaman. She has 5. Outside Howard. The 3 is up. McGregor grabs the miss.
On an open look like that, she's just got a gift for making the weak coverage pay.
That's a surprising miss. She's almost always deadly when she's that open, even from way downtown.
Brittany Sykes outside. Stevens grabs the board. And these guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assists.
When everybody's involved offensively, it's in a way helping you defensively too.
Now here's Alaman. Not a lot of room. The shot by Stevens, no good. And here's Indiana. Here's Melbourne. She hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Down low. Pass to McGregor. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, one of the most improved players in the league, Ezzy McGregor.
Well, remember, she was just 20 when she entered the WNBA. Most others are 22, 23, even see some 24, 25-year-olds. So while she wasn't elite her first 2 years, she was the youngest player in the league. So we've seen the improvement, and now Ezzy, she's one of the best defensive players in the game.
Puts it up. And Sandalasini gets it to go. And here's Westbrook. Pass to Sykes. Here's Febish. Intercepted. A solo fast break. And Sandalasini gets it to go.
I mean, look at D. They didn't even try to get back on the break.
Wouldn't have mattered, though, even if they did. No way anyone was beating her to the bucket there.
McGregor. She's guarded by Stevens. A nice shot by McGregor.
And this is how effective McGregor can be. All about getting into a rhythm.
Now Martin. Outside Hayes. Pass to Martin. Hayes. Here's Harrison. They get it back. Here's Stevens. Nails the baby hook.
And they're not dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
They've separated themselves in a number of categories. Rebound is just one more.
Sykes outside. Pass to Westbrook. Here's Febish. 6 on the shot clock. Sykes right side. No good that time. Now here is Hayes. She's got 8. Now Stevens shoots the 3. That shot off. And they're looking for some kind of spark here.
Yeah, cold stretch offensively. They need a bucket.
McLegore with the ball. She's got 12. Pass to Segrist. Westbrook. Brittany Sykes outside. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Don't underestimate the effectiveness of Sykes' jumper. If she gets a clean look, her teammates trust her to convert.
Timeout called the Liberty.
Coach thought the players were looking a little tired and called the timeout to give them a chance to catch their breath.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Pass to Martin. Zandalasini. Shoots from 12, and she comes up with the deuce.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it did not work. Not if it results in that shot.
Segrist outside. And here's Westbrook. Back to Segrist. And the layup's good off the glass.
Ran her defender straight into that screen to open up the lane to the hoop.
Here's Martin.
Sydney Colson. First personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the
No good on the free throw.
Kate Martin. 2 shots.
Good on the second free throw. Pass to Westbrook. Segrist outside. Milic. 5 to shoot. To the middle. Here's Westbrook. The rebound by the Liberty.
They'll probably let the clock wind down here.
Exactly. No need to give the ball back before the end of the quarter. The ball is in your court.
And here's Zandalasini. Gustafson. The three-pointer is on target. At the end of the third quarter, a huge lead, and this one may already have been decided. It's the Liberty delivering the blowout. And thanks again for joining us. We'll see what happens in the fourth. Now Martin. Pass to Zandalasini. Martin. Beyond the arc. Milic grabs the miss.
They had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And when she's open like that, you don't see her miss that sort of look very often.
Screen by Segrist. Here's Colson. No good there off the double clutch. And here's Smalls. Martin, covered by Segrist. Pass to Smalls. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway.
You know, she might be a little overconfident if she's taking shots like that.
I don't care how many shots she's hitting. She's never hitting that one.
Westbrook can't hit. And this could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
What a performance it's been.
To the left wing. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Martin. Smalls. And again, it's the Liberty missing. And they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. They got to score.
Back to Segrist. And it's good. Fought through the contact, hit the shot, and she'll go to the line.
At the line for the away team, Maddie Segrist. One shot.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And they've been really controlling this one.
Never want to get too complacent, though.
Pass to Gustafson. 18 feet out. The Fever pull it in. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. To the inside. It's stolen away. Here's Smalls. Covered by Segrist. And the shot count. He's fouled. That's a chance for a three-point play.
At the line for New York, Smalls. Shooting one.
Now Colson. Segrist outside. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Bad shot. She's missed 3 and made 4 of her 7 attempts. Here's Martin. From outside the arc. Milic grabs the miss.
Well, they're winning despite her errant shooting.
And here's Westbrook. Pass to Colson from deep. Doesn't go for her. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th quarter of this one. Now Martin. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
Well, I just think an illegal screen, it's one of the toughest calls for an official to make.
Yeah, you have to appreciate how difficult a job they have to do when it comes to making calls like that. It's not as easy as people might think.
And the refs in this league just do a great job.
Pass to Westbrook. Back to Thomas. Screen by Segrist. Alyssa Thomas attacking. That one falls.
Gotta love Alyssa Thomas taking it strong to the rim, punishing the defense for giving her a lane.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. And Martin gets it to go.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the points.
Pass to Westbrook. Launches a 3. The rebound by the Liberty. Here's Smalls. Now Martin. Here's Smalls. Here's Zandalasini. Buries it from 3-point range.
They come out of halftime smoking hot from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and as hot as they are from out there, there's absolutely no reason not to just keep letting them fly.
I agree, Brian. They should all have the green light.
Pass to Colson. Puts up the 3. Offensive board. Yep. Count it.
You gotta be aware of Thomas there. She's one of the best on the O boards.
And here's Martin. And here's Smalls. Covered by Segrist. To the left side wing. Now here's Gustafson. D right on her. Pass to Zandalasini. Smalls. Covered by Segrist. To the wing on the left. Martin. And again, it's New York with a 3.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams in their effectiveness from 3-point range.
Yeah, it's been pronounced and definitely a big factor to point to in this game.
Thomas, good.
Defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And if they don't start showing some aggression, things are just going to get worse.
Now Martin. Screen by Gustafson.
From deep. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
At the offensive end, she's done as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's Colson.
Siegrist outside.
Alyssa Thomas long range.
Good, and the assist goes to Maddie Siegrist.
You simply cannot say enough about the quarter she's having. I mean, every one of her attempts has gone down.
And here's Martin.
Pass to Gustafson. Inside.
Martin.
That misses off the backboard. Now Colson. Here's Westbrook. And here's Colson. She tries for three. Zandalasini pulls it in. And the Liberty with possession here. To the paint. Here's Gustafson. And can't cash in from close range. Thomas outside. Pass to Colson. Lets it go from deep. It's good from long range.
One of the most talented facilitating forwards in the WNBA. Thomas has such a unique skill set.
New York calls timeout. A big group substitution here for Indiana.
And here's Martin.
Pass to Smalls.
Martin.
Here's Gustafson. She's covered by Thomas.
Now Smalls.
Clock at 6. Here's Martin. New York, no good that time either. Here's the Fever with the ball. Now here's Thomas.
Pass to Febish.
Magdagor to the inside. Snatched away.
Now Martin.
Now Zandalasini. Here's Smalls.
Martin.
Gustafson. She's covered by Thomas. To end the drought. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Nice pass. She got that ball right into her teammate's shooting pocket, and it yielded great results.
Here's Melbourne. Pass to Magdagor. Second shot opportunity, and she lays it in.
Coach has always told me that if you battle for offensive rebounds, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on the follow, just like she got there.
Here's Zandalasini. She's guarded by Sykes. Pass to Gustafson. Deflects the pass. Zandalasini. And the half-court bomb falls off target. Sykes outside. That one off the back iron and out. And they're in complete control.
Everything they're doing, it's been working out. Wow.
Here's Zandalasini. She's guarded by Sykes. Three-pointer. And Martin gets it to go.
Perfect screen there. Set her up with a terrific look.
Yeah, but that's a bad job by the defender to not fight through that screen to contest.
You want to see more effort there.
Down low. Here's Thomas. Makes it off the glass.
And when Alyssa Thomas is scoring like this, with everything else she does, she looks like the best player on the floor.
Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. To the left side wing. Pass to Martin. Zondelasini. She's guarded by Sykes. And here's Martin. Can't drop the tough three-pointer. And so New York takes this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've